fools. Got that fire inside, we're rising up to shine. This is our time, yeah, we're feeling so divine. Oh, we're thriving, we're vibrant, bold and free. Women owning midlife, just you wait and see. Dance through the changes with a heart so strong. This is our anthem, come and sing along.
Hello, my friends. Welcome back to Not Your Mother's Midlife. I'm your host, Johanna, and I'm so happy that you're here. Last week, we took a quick look at perimenopause, that wild and wobbly phase. Today, we're answering the big question. What is menopause? So let's get to it. What's happening inside your body? Let's start with the basics. We're born with all our eggs, about 1 to 2 million at birth. And I could just think about that. So when I was pregnant with my daughter, she had all her eggs, and 2 of those eggs inside her tiny little baby body will become her daughters, my granddaughters, June and Olive. It just blows my little spider monkey-sized brain. Anyway, on with it, Johanna. By the age 30, most of us are down to roughly 10% or 120,000 eggs. By 40, that drops to just 3%, and the quality declines too. Menopause happens when your egg supply runs out and your ovaries produce very little sex hormones. Estradiol levels plummet to less than 1% of what they were in your reproductive years. Progesterone drops significantly too. Testosterone? It declines as well, though other parts of your body can still produce it, so it's about 50% or less of your peak levels. Menopause isn't just a moment, it's a milestone. Officially, you've reached menopause when you've gone 12 consecutive months without a period. No spotting, no surprises, just a full year of nothing. If you hit 10 months and then get a period, even a little one, well then the clock resets and you start counting again. Yeah, fun. After those 12 months, your ovaries are essentially saying, we're done. They stop releasing eggs and significantly reduce hormone production. Here's the interesting part that I didn't know. Menopause is technically, I don't know why I say menopause. I just realized that I say it with such rigor. Start again. Menopause is technically one day in your life. One day. The day exactly 1 year after your last period. Isn't that wild? One day marks the transition, and then the rest of your life begins. It sounds straightforward, right? Not quite. For some women, tracking periods isn't so simple. What if you've had a hysterectomy but still have ovaries? You don't menstruate, but your hormones are still shifting. What if you have an IUD or have had an ablation that suppresses periods? These situations make it tricky for women and even clinicians to pinpoint menopause. There I go again, menopause. Some reason I'm going to have to keep saying it like that. I'm sorry, I'll try to calm it down. It's a very exciting word. So what does menopause feel like? If perimenopause was the warm-up, menopause is the main event. But it's not always dramatic. Some women just breeze through it. A friend of mine said it was over in a year and no big deal. Others, not so much. More like a tornado. Hot flashes and night sweats can linger, leaving you roasting and waking up soaked in sweat. Sleep can become elusive, even without sweats. Friends have told me that they're up half the night. I always thought that our mothers just loved getting up early to seize the day, but in reality, they probably couldn't sleep past 4 a.m. I'm guessing because of lack of hormones. Anyway, weight will creep on, especially around the middle, and you just become soft and fluffy, thanks to slower metabolism and less estrogen. It's like God hates us. Why does this happen to us? It's not fair. Anyway, joints may ache. I'm waiting for the end. Okay, at the end, there's going to be good news, right? Not so much. Joints may ache, skin dries out, and hair becomes thinner. For girls like me that only have about 6 fine hairs on my head to begin with, not a welcome change. Then there's the brain fog, forgetting names or losing your train of thought mid-sentence or repeating the same stories. And if you ask my kids, they will tell you that I already repeat stories, so they will be in for a real treat when I get older. You may experience vaginal dryness, lack of sexual desire. Everyone's experience is different, of course, but the common thread Your body is rewriting the rules. A new version of yourself is being born. Congratulations on the birth of you, the new you. I'm sure it was as exciting as when you had a baby. Here's what really floored me, though. Menopause isn't just about what you feel now. It's about what's coming later down the road. Those hormones weren't just for periods. They were like bodyguards. Estrogen kept your bones strong, your skin elastic, and your heart healthy. Progesterone helped you stay calm and sleep well. Without them, your body has to adjust, and that comes with long-term impacts. Lower estrogen increases the risk of osteoporosis, making bones more fragile. Your heart becomes more vulnerable to cardiovascular issues as you age. Even your brain takes a hit. Memory, focus, and mood are all tied to those hormone drops, not to forget the increased risk of dementia. Your adrenals and fat tissue can still produce a tiny bit of estrogen, but it's not enough to fully compensate. And the drop in estrogen and progesterone combined with reduced testosterone production can completely diminish a woman's desire for sex. Coupled with painful vaginal dryness, weight gain, anxiety, or depression, it's no wonder relationships are tested post-menopause. It's just like, it makes total sense. Men may think it's about them, not fully understanding the changes a woman has just experienced. It's such unique communication during this. I believe it can be incredibly helpful for couples to have an open and honest conversation about their feelings during perimenopause, menopause, and postmenopause. Sharing this podcast with your partner to help them understand might be a great way to initiate the conversation if you feel awkward or embarrassed about bringing it up. I just say, yeah, this is a really funny podcast you should listen to. And as they start listening, they're like, oh God, what's this doom and gloom? But maybe they'll have a little giggle, that they'll maybe understand you better. I recently listened to an incredible podcast myself that I highly recommend. It's a bit lengthy, but it's so worth it, even if you just listen in little chunks. It features Dr. Mary Claire Haver, an absolute game changer in women's health. I'll link her website in the show notes. But Dr. Haver is a board-certified OBGYN and a certified menopause practitioner who noticed her patients struggling with weight gain during menopause. Frustrated by the lack of solutions, she went beyond her medical training. I'm just reading this part, like from her website, just if it sounds like I'm reading. Diving deep into the science of menopause, aging, and inflammation. The result? She created the Galveston Diet, an anti-inflammatory nutrition program designed specifically for women in perimenopause and menopause. She also opened a clinic dedicated to helping women navigate hormonal changes. The episode is packed with insights. Dr. Haver breaks down how declining estrogen fuels inflammation, leading to that stubborn belly fat we talked about earlier, and shares practical tips like prioritizing fiber and protein to support your body. Trust me, you want to take notes and save the episode and listen to it again and again. You can also follow her on Instagram. She's great. Just check it out and let me know what you think in the comments or on social media. Next week, we'll dive into the long game, what happens 5, 10, 20 years past menopause, and how to stay ahead of the curve. I'll also share my embarrassing, but like we've probably all experienced these things, my experience with beginning hormonal replacement therapy and why I decided to do that, what sneaky symptoms I was experiencing that led to it. And, we're going to get to some more fun podcast down the road, but these first few, I think it's just really important just to understand ourselves and what's happening, and then we can get to more fun, juicy, spicy things. So thanks for listening. If you enjoyed this episode, please share it with a friend who you think would love it too. Drop your thoughts or ideas for future episodes. I'd love to hear from you. Subscribe to my podcast so you know when episodes are coming out, and my YouTube channel. You'll find all the links in the show notes. And until next week, I'm Johanna Hart, and this is not your mother's midlife. Bye-bye.